Spading has played an important role in returning non-wetting sandy soils to productivity on land owned by grower and agronomist Aaron Cahill, west of Moora in WA. Mr Cahill, who share farms the property with Tony and Judy Snell, says non-wetting soils, and to a lesser extent subsoil acidity, are the biggest production issues on the property. Since 2011, they have hosted a trial supported by the Grains Research and Development Corporation, investigating a range of management techniques for non-wetting sands. The work, led by the Department of Agriculture and Food WA, has highlighted the benefits of ameliorating soils using techniques such as spading.
Cost of the full amelioration package, as we've done it with paddock cleanups, deep ripping, liming, trace element applications, and then the spading in the initial year was about $230, $240 a hectare. Our yield response in the first year was about 1.15 tonne to the hectare, and at that stage the price of wheat was sitting around that $230, $240, so we basically covered our full setup costs in the first year, and we've consistently maintained a yield advantage over the untreated control since then of between 900 and 1.1 tonne in the cereal phase, and the canola phase has been around, depending on the treatment, 300 to 400 kilos.
Spading is used across most of the property each year, carried out by a contractor using a 4.5 metre wide trail-behind machine, travelling at about 6 to 7 kilometres per hour.
His spader has some press wheels that leave the paddock quite ridged, so we leave that, and basically all of the spaded country tends to be sown last. We haven't gone down the path of setting up separate machinery, so we leave that till last, and just prior to seeding we'll run in with a chain and chain it flat and put a rubber tied roller over to make a nice level and firm seed bed, and then we've been seeding into that.
Mr Cahill says spading, when combined with deep ripping and lime and trace element application, is more expensive than mouldboard ploughing or one-way ploughs, but provides the best and most consistent results in his district. However, one problem created by the use of spading is subsoil compaction. To overcome this, Mr Cahill and the Snells are using a deep ripper and are planning to implement a controlled traffic system.
We dug down, and basically all of the non-rip country was quite wet from about 20 centimetres down, so there was a heap of moisture that just didn't get utilised last year, which with the finish we had was a real shame, because that moisture would have been important. But all the country that was deep rip last year, you could dig down to basically 400-500 mils, and it was dry all the way down. So the crops had utilised everything that was in the profile and turned that into grain and then money.